Hello, welcome to Nerd Variety Podcast. Today we are going to talk about video game survival scenarios. So my name is Hayden, and I am joined today by, I always forget if I stick to an order between you two, and I always try to mix it up, but I don't know if I do a good or bad job at that. Let's start with Hannah.
It's me. I am the first one because I am the better one.
Oh, never mind. Forget about that. We have Davey.
See, Hayden, you already messed up. You were out of order.
Josh.
Save the best for last. Am I right?
Oh, aren't you nice? Good recovery. Good recovery.
And then we have Josh.
Hey, it's Josh.
Yeah.
Josh and Hannah and Josh, whichever you prefer.
And then Hayden.
Also Hayden.
Also Hayden.
Yes,
and sometimes
also
Hayden.
me. So today we, as I said, are talking about video game survival scenarios, which seemed like a great idea at the time of conception. At this point, brains are fried from being alive, work, just exhausting.
I feel like
all of that.
I'm feeling the end of semester exhaustion.
Yeah. Right?
Maybe, which is weird because I'm not in school anymore. And I'm a teacher, but I'm not really a teacher who deals in semesters.
Yeah.
Like the end of the year isn't any harder than the beginning, but I just am like, it's May. I need it to be summertime now and to just have a break.
Yeah. I feel that.
Unfortunately for my job, summer and no school means there's going to be a lot more kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Children.
Mine is the opposite of that because they all go on vacation because I work with rich kids who are like, I'm going to be on vacation for 3 months. So I'm like, all right, bye.
Later.
And I work in a gym which has an indoor pool. Actually, it has 2 indoor pools and then an outdoor pool. So that means it's going to be parents bringing their kids and all of them wanting food.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah. There's a chance my summer could be, as busy as the rest of the year because I work with adults, but at least I'll have a means to vacation and take some time off now that COVID restrictions are lifting and I'm fully vaccinated.
Woo-hoo.
Cool.
But anyway, none of that is relevant to what we're talking about today.
No, but it's a nice intro. We're connecting with our audience.
Oh yeah. Yes, we are real people.
Yes, real. We are not robots. Not usually, at least.
00110.
Okay. Anyways, let's just so we've gone a little bit back and forth between how to best approach the survival scenarios, and we decided that it was going to be a little too similar, probably in format, to the music scenarios, even though it is different. It's approached differently. We thought the format might be too similar. So instead today we are going to be attempting to find our way through these scenarios cooperatively, which means I get to play.
And I get to play devil's advocate. Yeah. Which is usually Hayden's job.
Yeah.
I didn't bring enough controllers.
That Hayden volunteered for. Nobody asked for.
I gotta find batteries for my controllers.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's just get into it. So these are usually scenarios that are actually, I think I pulled all of them directly from video games, like specific ones. Some of them I combined. But yeah. So starting with the first one, I have to find the best way to pull this up here. Okay. You awaken on a peninsula overrun by monsters, no weapons or armor in your possession. In the distance, there is a castle surrounded by an evil aura that appears as if it appears to be some kind of twirling smoke and fire. Each direction from the peninsula leads to a method of weakening the monster in the castle, but time is ticking away. You look up and find that the moon is on its way down, crashing towards the land.
Oh gosh.
Best you can tell, you have 3 days time to defeat the evil in the castle and stop the moon. How do you approach this adventure?
So, can I ask a clarifying question first?
Sure.
by defeating the monster, does that stop the moon?
Yes.
Because if we have to defeat the monster and then like also just figure out how to keep a moon from crashing into the planet by like normal science means, I don't know how to do that.
Or by magic means, I'm gonna need more time to find that
Right.
spell.
Well,
But
so
if all we need to do is
giants-
defeat the monster.
The giants don't exist in this one. Again, if you're familiar, this is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild attempted to be combined with The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And, you know, actually, after reading it aloud, I realized my wording in there was horrible. So I apologize for it. I usually take more time with these, I think. But yeah, so.
But defeating the monster will stop the moon.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
Calamity Ganon is pulling
Right.
the moon
Right.
down. And if we defeat him, then it will
So the
stop.
moon, we don't need to fix the moon. It just is giving us our time limit, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a ticking
All
clock.
right. Okay.
Basically, it's giving us the choice, or it's giving us the pressure so that we have to decide how to approach this.
Right.
So
Sorry.
there's, in this scenario, I apologize. I just wanted to clarify since we had changed this. The scenario also means that the three of us are working together so we can branch out and do some extra things if we feel that's the best choice for us.
We a team.
Squad.
So Josh, did you have an idea? Because I feel like you put more prep into this than I did.
Seeing as we have a time limit, like the moon is going to get here in 3 days, and we do not want to be around when that happens. Or, you know, so I was thinking, you know, first day is amassing weapons and armor, like going to the castle, but finding a way that will give us the most like skills or armor or weapons. The second day should be focused on getting into the castle or working your way around the castle to you know, find a weak spot and build more experience. The third day, of course, get in the castle, go all out to defeat, you know, the evil and stop Doomsday Armageddon, you know, the last day on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in our sort of talks before recording, Hayden mentioned that there's no real limitations except you can't glitch the game. And I'm feeling like my brain is being too creative or like thinking too outside the box. Because I feel like, Josh, you said that like you feel like this is just the most logical way to do it, and I agree. But in my brain, I'm like, okay, well, first, like, we got to go do a Starbucks run because we're gonna need some caffeine. Because you best believe you're not wasting any time sleeping over these next 3 days, right? And then I want to like Mission Impossible style, like climb up the building and like drop down through the ceiling, and like drop a bomb on the monster or something like that. Like that's where my brain goes. For
we
these
also
things.
don't have any weapons or armor, and there's already monsters
that's
on
fair.
the island that we have to fight.
Yeah. So again, I mean,
Okay.
you are limited to the scenario. So again,
Well,
you don't have anything.
Okay,
First of all,
there's
you
no
don't have-
Starbucks.
You don't start with money to go buy
Sounds like
coffee.
a fantasy island.
Okay.
Plus, I mean, my thought was also like,
You said the only restrictions were no glitches, so
but like, I was also thinking as soon as you said go to Starbucks, I was like, well, why wouldn't you just go like make your own coffee? Like
Well,
you can go find resources
have to
in the
f-
wild,
then we
and
have
then
to-
you can cook it, and then you can brew your own
that
coffee.
takes too long. That
Then we
takes
gotta-
too
we
long.
That
gotta
does
find all
not
the
take
ingre-
too long.
we
It
have
takes
to
way
find-
too long to try to find a Starbucks in this place.
We have to find all the ingredients, try them, make sure they will make coffee, and then make the coffee.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to make like a good recipe without any guidance in Breath of the Wild? You just like throw things in a pot.
Yes,
You're like,
I-
that doesn't
Or-
make anything.
Or
That's how I do
Skyrim.
most. That's how I've done most of it. If
Or
not all
Skyrim,
of
where
it.
you have to try things, and
Yeah.
this is poison. Oh, this
You're like,
is.
I'll eat this
second-
plant. It'll just poison me a little bit. It's fine.
Oh, that's not for cure disease. That's not for
No.
cure disease. Oh,
No.
God.
That's the blindness one. My bad.
Yep.
But
That
you
one
know,
that one draws
we can do
bears.
it if we work together. We can all. if we all try different things, we can all just get sick faster and make it through.
I was just gonna volunteer Josh as the guinea pig. We're like, eat this one, now eat this one, now eat this one.
No. I don't. I'd like to focus on getting some weapons first. So do we split up since there are three? Since there are like, aren't there like 3 paths to take to get to the island or to get to the castle?
I mean, there's technically there's whatever path.
Yeah,
like
you
you're
said
not limited to a specific
each
to
direction
any specific paths. Like
leads
you
to a
have,
method.
I mean, you know, you.
Is that specific?
I'm trying really hard now to remember the map of Breath of the Wild, even though it's not supposed to technically be literally that. No, I mean, just, you know, they're like, sure, there are other monsters in your way, but we can attempt to sneak around them, though that's probably not going to work. We could fight them all if we have weapons, although we could attempt to defeat them without weapons, which is possible, but.
So let me ask this question then. I'm going to start with Josh. What would be your weapon of choice in a scenario like this? Like, what are you looking for in terms of weapons and armor?
I want, seeing as there are monsters on the island, I figure if I can get like the tail or some leg bone, like I'm thinking in terms of heavy. If I can get like something that they use, like their leg or a club or something, and then maybe like some scale armor from one of them to use for a shield, I'm good to go. I'll just bash my way in as best I can.
See, every time I play a video game or do anything, I am always like a bow and arrow and like light armor kind of person. So I'll find a bow and arrow. I'll steal one off of one of these dudes you kill and like back you up.
Yeah, or if they don't have them, you can just make one, like just fashion one together, and while I'm like breaking down the door, you can work your way in through a window, and you know we can. You know,
I mean,
I'll need to do my stretches if I'm going to climb through a window.
So I always
divide and conquer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Not always. I like to go for magic in games, so you know.
I was gonna say.
I can be a mage. Hannah, you can be an archer, and Josh, you can be the warrior.
Yeah. I legitimately was thinking that when I was like, "Oh, we should like team up." I was like, "Josh is the warrior, and Hayden's the magician, and I'm a ranger."
Or I can be a healer.
I think maybe it's because of the purple hair. I'm like magic.
Could be white mage.
Yeah. But you
Archers never have purple hair.
Just now, maybe this is a little unfair of me. I feel because I didn't think to make it too specific in the description, but I was thinking that each section, you know, again, the 4 corners of the map. I think that's what I said. I don't know. I was thinking 4 corners. If I didn't say it, I apologize. Like where we can find something to weaken him. You know, they're each like a day. It takes like a day to get there, do what we need to do there to weaken them, and then get back, basically.
So we realistically can only get 2 if we like wasted no time.
Well, actually, I was thinking we could get 3.
If we split up.
Yeah. Yes. We could get 3 in one day, and then possibly go try to get the 4th, or we could omit the 4th and work on other things for the other day. Not necessarily saying that the first day we go get the 3, but maybe first day, like at armor and gearing up and all that stuff, and then go doing those, or we could go get those and then gear up and everything afterwards.
I do like that there's an option for, you know, enhancing our ability to destroy the evil in the castle. So us splitting up, you know, getting what we need to get for our own style of you know, fighting, and then getting the method to fight off the evil, and then meeting up and then taking the rest of the other 2 days and to actually try to stop it, or actually get to the castle and stop it.
Yeah, or I was going to say we take the first day and have that be kind of like our initial gear gathering day, but we combine that with like trying to find people to like do favors for, so we can like go and get level up and get stronger, but then also make money at the same time, so we can buy better gear and maybe like a horse to cut down on travel time, things like that.
Well, we could also if we are using Breath of the Wild rules, which I was in my head, I was at least sort of imagining in terms of this at least. We could also just like, we don't have to go buy mounts. We could go just get a wild horse each.
You know, I'm like slightly afraid of horses, so.
Have you played Breath of the Wild?
I have.
Have you tamed a wild horse?
I think so. But I'm scared. I'm scared of horses.
Well, Hayden, with your magic, you could just use some kind of witchcraft and just
animal friendship spell.
Yeah, just
honestly, I was kind of thinking that for him, because usually archers tend to have that kind of thing.
That's true. Yeah, if I'm a ranger.
Yeah.
It's possible.
But I could also use a spell to like calm it. I could use was it Axie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Sorry, wrong game.
Or use your some spell to kind of get some of these monsters on our side, so we could have a little buffer there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we have a good plan.
More or less. I mean, as well as we can without really knowing what threat the monster itself poses, but going in as prepared as possible.
So how do we feel about
the to crash on us?
How do we feel about that? Using first day to build up our arsenal, level up, meet people, and then separate for day 2 to go weekend the boss, and then day 3 get to the castle, get in, and defeat him.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've worked through that well, and because by the time we get to him, we're hopefully over leveled.
Hopefully,
it's always the goal.
At least between
fights to be easy.
At least between the 3 of us, we'll have a level equaling him.
So, yay, we work together well.
Yay.
Feels like a United Nations or a mock United Nations.
All right.
Cool. So let's call that scenario 1 resolved.
Ooh, we did it. I give us a 9 out of 10. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. So moving on to scenario 2. Locked in a mansion filled with zombies and your team, which is us, let's say, and maybe some more people. I forget how many. Well, actually, what do we want to say? Do we want to say it's just us, or do we want to say there are more people?
Let's say it's just us.
Okay.
But we
makes it more interesting.
We also have one. Go ahead, Hayden.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Locked in a mansion filled with zombies and your team, which conceals at least one traitor. Your objective is to discover any way to put an end to the zombies or just fight your way out. You may also wait for help to arrive, but it will take at least 6 hours. You are armed with a gun, your teammates, and your training.
So are we implying that one of us is a traitor?
That's why I was asking, because I think it's more fun if one of us is the traitor.
I just don't understand the concept of a traitor in a zombie apocalypse. It's like, I'm actually on the zombies team. Like, how does that work?
They're never really on the zombies team.
I was going to say.
On the side of an evil entity or group that is sabotaging things for their own personal gain.
I don't even.
Yeah. I was gonna say they're on their own side. Like.
Yeah.
You just know that like they're one of those people that would definitely trip you so that the zombies eat you first, kind of person.
They are after some kind of treasure, or they want to kill the group because they know too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't know which one of us it is.
Good question.
So if I know one of you is a traitor, because it's obviously not me.
Obviously.
Then I want
Trader would say
to
that.
I want to put us in a situation where there's no reason for you to backstab me, right? So I don't want to be in like an us versus them, like every man for himself kind of situation, because, you know, I know that when push comes to shove, I'm not your first priority. So since we're in a mansion, my first thought is to get some height. Would be my first goal, if we're assuming that we're inside the building and the zombies are outside, or are the zombies also inside?
The zombies were also inside
Also
and
inside.
outside, but that's what, like, there's a lot more outside, which is what makes it a difficult choice.
Okay. Okay. Well, do either of you have any ideas? I don't want to dominate the conversation here. 'Cause I have ideas, but
I mean, I was gonna go say I would look for a way to call for help.
How big is a mansion?
Resident Evil 1 size.
I don't remember.
Just a mansion-sized mansion.
Yeah, man.
I went to the Biltmore recently. Okay, my scale for mansions is weird right now. Yeah.
If it has Roman style pillars in the front, at the front door, then yeah, it's a mansion.
Okay, this is like a 2-story mansion. Yeah, the Biltmore is like 3 times as big as this.
At least
okay.
at least 3 stories.
Yeah. Okay.
I would if I were the one who knew about the help arriving, I may shorten the time span to see who might crack first. Like say, hey guys, when I know the chopper's going to be here in 6 hours, I say chopper's going to be here in 8 hours, or maybe shorten the time to 3 hours to see who starts freaking out or loses their cool and tries to break away. Just so I know who to be able to look out for.
Yeah. So I feel like the traitor is not my biggest concern right now.
Understand.
Well, you've made it that since it's just 3 of us, and you know that you've kind of prepared it so you give everybody a role to play in defending, keeping us alive. Then yeah, the traitor won't be a big of a deal.
Right. Yeah. As long as we arrange things so that teamwork is a necessity, that if they were to betray us, that would mean their own death. Is that what's that? Mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Right.
If we're all defending a room, and like my role is this, your role is that, Hayden's role is this. If they were to break their from their rank or their role, then yeah, it would mess us up, but it would also screw them too. Because they're in the same boat that we're in.
Okay.
So my instinct is to go check out possible paths to find a way to call for help. So that's what I would go do. Are both of you also going to call for help, or what are you doing?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure that splitting up is the best idea here, and especially with 6 hours. Are we saying that there's already going to be 6? Are we hoping to call and get help sooner, or do we have to communicate in order to get the help in the first place?
Do we have to call and say, "Hey,
to get help in the first place"?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, then
that's why I think like we should split up, and like again, we can each look for a way. I don't know. I feel like I'm sounding sketchy.
You are.
Why do you want to split us up, Hayden?
Yeah, what's up with that, Hayden?
No, I think
thought we were all friends and teammates. What's going on here?
Thought we were gonna work together.
No, because when it's 6 hours from the time that they're called, it makes a lot of sense to split up. That way we can find it faster, so we can cover more ground, and that way it cuts our time down to being able to get out, so that we can get out of there potentially earlier.
I don't know. I still think finding we know they're coming from a chopper, which is going to be at the top of the building, and there's a there's a couple clear cut paths to do that, and splitting up means that one of us or two of us, or at least that one person will get there before everybody else, possibly, if they survive.
I guess my first question is where do we think it's most likely that there would be a communication device? Because it seems like there are a few sort of key spots that I would think of, and we don't necessarily need to do all of those separately. I do agree that is probably a first priority, but like if there's an office seems like it would be a place with like a phone or a faxing machine or something. I don't know.
I would say let's also assume that we don't have a layout of this place.
Convenience for your plan.
I mean, because I feel like because in Resident Evil they don't like just know the place, right? Like it's just a random mansion that they end up at.
I don't remember. Probably not.
They don't already have pre-existing knowledge of a layout.
Probably.
So like we could assume there's like a communications room that we'd need to find, but we don't know where that would be.
It makes sense to split up, and also in terms of getting supplies and ammo and things like that, anything we can find. So I will accept splitting up, but just know that included in my plan is a trip to the kitchen to try and find like a knife or a frying pan or some sort of quieter weapon than a gun, and also possibly a giant can of vegetable oil to dump down the stairs.
A frying pan?
Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of like melee weapon.
You gotta bash the
not
breaker.
loud. Because if we're assuming, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to agree with you. Maybe it'd be good to have some weapons that don't make a lot of noise, especially we're going to have to use firearms to disperse a lot of them at once. But we also want to kind of keep it quiet, so we don't.
Especially if we're splitting up. Especially if we're splitting up, stealth is going to be key, because I can't take on 10 zombies at once by myself. So I want to lay low, get a knife or a frying pan, like a big cast iron frying pan or something. And then again, like some sort of oil to dump down the stairs to make them slippery, so we can go up to the roof and make it all the zombies slip down the stairs.
All right.
That's my other plan.
So that's your plan. Josh, your plan?
My plan is I would still like us all to stick together. With three of us, we won't make as much noise, but we'll also be able to see who the traitor is, because they'll want to panic and try to dip out.
Very possible that the traitor will not feel the need to do anything if they feel the time is not going to present itself. The opportunity is not going to present itself. So you won't necessarily know that there is a traitor if nothing prompts the traitor.
Can we all just agree that we know Hayden's the traitor, though?
They know too much already, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately we get in here, Hayden's like, we should split up. We should definitely split up.
I was thinking, like, I feel like such a Wesker type.
We'll see how many zombies are on each floor, and that will influence our decision to split up or not.
But you also can't in this scenario, you don't know that it's me, okay?
I do when we walk in the front door and you're immediately like, we should split up. I got a phone call to make. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know where the phone is, guys. Don't worry. I'll go make the phone call.
You guys go that way.
You guys go that way. Don't worry. Trust me. I'll meet you later.
So Josh, I'm sorry. What's your plan exactly? So, okay, we're establishing plans. This is a final round thing before we move on to the next scenario. Hannah is going to look for weapons and then going to grease the stairs and
go up to the roof.
Go up to the roof. Josh, what is your plan of action? And remember, I do not have You do not know that I am a traitor.
Securing a means of communication, definitely grabbing melee weapons, and then keeping an eye out, like for how many zombies are on each floor. Before deciding to split up or come together.
Okay.
Okay.
My plan of action is to
Push Hannah down the slippery stairs.
Be the last one up the
to
stairs.
search the
Last one
mansion
outside.
for hidden rooms and hidden items that can give me more power. Because I am more familiar with this place, which is why I lured us here in the first place.
Right.
Do it.
In an attempt to gain power for myself.
You know, Josh, at the very least, this has taught us that if Hayden ever does decide to betray us, it'll be really obvious.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could be helpful. So obviously I get away with my plan and then I escape and leave you both to fight out, to fight through the zombie horde on your own.
Of course. Yeah.
Not before I've bitten you and made you a zombie too.
Revenge. All right, we've got one more. We're gonna have to do this one double time because we're low on time.
So we can make this one quick, especially since we all have we're all more familiar with it.
I immediately know what game this is based on.
Yeah, I just clearly pulled from Luigi's Mansion. No, I'm sorry, Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a ghost hunter. A farmhouse. Where is this one? A farmhouse is said to be haunted by a ghost, and you're brought in to investigate. You may identify the ghost, attempt to fight it off, or capture it. So I did change the rules a little bit. After 3 minutes, however, the ghost will become aggressive. You have limited supplies to do all of this. Your supplies consist of a photo camera, a thermometer, an EMF reader, and a smudge stick, which is told to temporarily cleanse the immediate area of ghosts. What option do you choose, and how do you make sure that you succeed?
Well, personally, the first thing I'm gonna do is put the activate the thermometer and the EMF reader and put them on the floor and be like, you just kind of like hang out here for a bit. And then I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'm gonna get a frying pan.
Why are you always looking for frying pans?
I was actually joking about that, but then I was like, wait a second. I am gonna head to the kitchen. I might grab a frying pan. I'm gonna get some salt because iron and salt are two ghost hunting tools you did not mention, but should be in a farmhouse.
I'm going to go to the kitchen as well and get some water and bless it.
Okay, yes. And then
I'm
I'm gonna make a circle of safety out of my salt and have my frying pan ready.
I am going to do what I always do and go to the second floor and get killed immediately.
Great plan. I agree with your plan though, Hannah. To get the thermometer and the EMF reader, and get the camera to get evidence as we see there's signs of paranormal activity. And 3 minutes have passed, and the ghost starts getting aggressive. That's when we want to use the smudge stick. But big thing is get the evidence and get the F out.
I just am so tickled by the fact that I was 100% kidding about the frying pan until I remembered that cast iron, iron is the thing that you, according to lore, not Phasmophobia lore, but like regular ghost lore, iron is something that you can use against ghosts. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm gonna get the frying pan.
I've never heard of that.
I think it's ghosts. There's definitely, I want to say it's iron. I don't know. I watched like 12 seasons of Supernatural. I mean, it all kind of blurs together.
Silver, of course.
Silver is for
vampires and
werewolves. Yeah.
Vampires? I can't remember. Is that specific? That's not necessarily a vampire thing, is it? I was thinking it was more like stake through the heart and sunlight for vampires.
Stake through the heart, sunlight, garlic. Yeah.
Garlic, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure iron, and I know a salt
holy
circle.
Items too.
Yeah. I know a salt circle is a thing.
Yeah, salt usually works for
ghosts,
demons, ghosts, and vampires.
Which I think is not how they did it in Phasmophobia, but.
Also, Josh, I was gonna say you mentioned holy items, right?
Yes.
I believe that only works, or that's supposed to only work like if it's got to be like sanctified or something, or blessed by the church or something.
Well, in this scenario, I'm a priest because that's the only way I'll go into a haunted building.
Actually, have you? I'm just thinking of that because I haven't seen it in so long, and it's a movie I really enjoyed. But Fright Night, like the original, they're like the original two, and they did like a remake. I don't remember all of it exactly, but I remember that being a thing where like the guy held up. If you're not familiar with the movie, it's it's like a vampire thing. It's pretty fun. Like he holds up a cross to him, and he just kind of like grabs it. He's just like, yeah, see, that doesn't work unless it's like sanctified or something.
Have you guys heard the one where a vampire can't go into your house unless you invite them?
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard that one, and then I've also heard that like they're obsessed with counting, and so if you put rice in front of your door, they'll stop and they'll like count all the rice.
Sorry, you're thinking
like
of the Count from
No, I swear that's a thing. I think that's like I want to say that might be like like an Asian origin, like sort of mythology. I can't remember.
Or that they have to count something when if you throw it out in front of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Anyway.
So obviously, again, with my plan in Phasmophobia, I tend to be too reckless and I always die first.
Yeah.
So
my
I was
plans,
not prepared to properly answer that one.
My plans, no matter the monster, is just to go get a cast iron frying pan.
Apparently.
Which I have like 3 of in my house, so I'm ready.
Whatever works. My plan is to get in, get out, get it done.
Yeah.
So, I had all of these scenarios obviously pulled from very specific things. By the way, we've done Phasmophobia. I think we have a stream of it, Hannah?
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, we have some years. So you can actually see how we play out those scenarios.
Yeah, it's probably on my YouTube channel, HipGirl95 on YouTube.
Yeah, we need to play against. We need to play against sometime.
We should.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the scenarios we had. I also had an extra one, like an optional one. It was going to be. I wanted to say it was going to be kind of like Ark Survival Evolved, but I've not really played enough of that to really be sure. So it was also kind of like a survival version of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Have you guys played The Forest?
No, but I really want to.
Because that reminds me of The Forest. There's not mechanical creatures, but the organic creatures are like, there's one that's just like 8 sets of legs and like all kind of it's awful. But it's a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was this week. Next week we got we just discussed this. The Witcher, yes.
We're gonna talk about The Witcher next week. As we were talking about in our pre-recording, Josh is a baby fan because he has seen the TV show, and that is all. I am a mid-tier fan because I've seen the TV show and played The Witcher 3, and Hayden is obsessed. So we'll have
I have watched the show. I've watched the show.
Played all the games?
Played all 3 games multiple times, and I haven't finished the books. All of them. I finished the first 2, and I'm in the 3rd one.
Well, I would have read them if Hayden had led them to me.
I tried.
But yeah, so that should be an interesting conversation next time with some kind of different, varying levels of knowledge.
Yeah, we got about I think we discussed 2 or 3 episodes left this season, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, thank you guys again for coming this time. We really hope you enjoyed it. And hope to see you next time. Until then, nerd out.
Nerd out.
Nerd out.